What's up, Chris Ryan Fitness fam? I have an absolutely fantastic 15-minute strength abs class for us here today. Ready to go six-pack city or what? Yeah, remember, the journey is the destination. Let's start our journey with a quick little dynamic warm-up here today. It's going to be all body weight. If you want to have a workout mat, a yoga mat, whatever you call them, you go ahead and have that, and we're going to go right on into it as well. But no other equipment is needed here today. With that big, beautiful smile. Ready? Let's do it. So what I want you to do is just open up those ribs far apart, lean up on back ever so slightly, turn those palms facing up towards the sky. Take a big inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, roll those shoulders forward, come on down, touch those ground with those fingertips or those toes for 2 and 1. And let's go down on the ground for the rest of the series. You're going to come on down on the ground, hands in the ground, cat-cow style position. You're going to come on down, press those palms hard to the ground right below your shoulders. So you're going to round your back as much as you can. Tighten up those abs. Look towards your belly button. There you go. Press hard through those palms. Push those shoulders down through the ground as much as you can, like 2 strong pistons through those arms. And now let's go ahead and arch your back. Eyes go out in front, squeezing through the shoulder blades as much as you can. Opening up that lumbar spine. And then you're going to drop the hips. Look towards the ground. Drop the hips over towards that left side a little bit. And then wiggle the hips over to that right side a little bit. There we go. Oh, yeah. Take that right hand up to that right temple, and then take that right elbow up to the sky. Rotate up high to the sky. Follow the eye gaze up towards the elbow, and then bring it back under center. Let's do that a couple more times. Reaching and extending up, down and in. And let's do the same thing with that left hand up to that left temple. Rotate up a few times all the way through. Getting that thoracic region, that spine, those obliques nice and warmed on up as well for 2 and 1. All right, everybody, little crunch raise time we go. So what we're going to do right here, starting out of the gate, you're going to have the head on the ground, starting on out. You're going to have your eyes up towards the ceiling, fingers spread nice and wide, knees bent. Now what I want you to do, I want you just to fire through just that left side. So you're going to raise up that chin to the chest, eyes are forward, and then raise up the fingertips as high as you can. Hold that position, flexing through that left side, rib to the hip as hard as possible, eyes forward towards your knees. And then bring your head all the way to the ground. And then that right side raises on up. Reach up with those fingertips all the way up as high as possible right there. Back and forth the whole way. Chin to chest. Raise, hold, squeeze, activate. Boom. Love it. Down. Right back up to that right side. Raise, hold, squeeze, activate. Boom. Love it. Come on. Left side. Oh, yeah. And down. And then hit it on through right side. Feeling good. Rib to the hip, hip to the rib. We go. One more each side. Head down, head up, all the way through. Reach and extend for 2. Last rep, best rep. And 1 on that right side for 2. 1. Go ahead and rest it on up. Single leg toe touch time. We go. So what we're going to do right here, I'm going to show you a different angle on this one as well. You can come over. Heads rest on the ground. Start out with our right leg out, left leg on, or left hand on up. Chin to chest, raise on up, touch the toe, back and forth all the way through. So you're coming on up, touching the toe, straight leg position, chin tucked in towards your chest, head goes down towards the ground, eyes are up towards the ceiling. Now you're in an elongated position, raising your leg and arm exactly at the same time. Don't kick your leg up and then heel your arm up like that, right? Or vice versa, like that. I want you to think, come on up, so you're contracting, driving force generation, rib to the opposite hip, hip to the opposite rib, as much as you can, cross section right there, cross, 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 all the way through. Reach and extend, touch that toesy mosey for 2. Last rep, best rep, 1. Squeeze all the way through. Love it, right? Juice is worth the squeeze here today for certain. Left leg out straight, left hand on the ground, right hand reaching up behind your head as far as possible. Okay, same rules apply. Back and forth, connect all the way on through. Reaching, extending, abs as tight as possible right here. Keep that leg locked at the knee as much as you can. Flexing through dorsiflexion style with the toes, so the toes flex in towards your shin and knee, activating through that hip flexor as much as you can, and working that rib to the opposite hip, hip to the opposite rib. In this case, that right rib towards that left hip, contracting into that right rib. Back and forth, slow and controlled all the way on home. Reaching, extending, reaching and extending. Love it, love it, love it. Come on, lighten on up for 3, 4, 2, last rep, best rep, and 1. Reverse crunch time. And now what you're going to do, ball yourself up nice and small, knees driving in towards your chest, hands connect underneath those heels, toes flex back towards your face, head is off the ground the whole way through. Extend out, contract back on in. Extend out, contract back on in. Keeping that lumbar spine fully flat on the ground in that lower third of your back. If that's too much, you can modify heads on the ground, working mainly at those lower abs, pulling the knees in towards your chest, but not heave-hoing those knees in towards your chest, right? You want to think contracting those abdominals, keeping the lumbar spine pancake flat on the ground the whole way through. Head is resting on the ground, eyes up towards the ceiling, modifier, chin is towards your chest, extending and contracting for that full, long, strong range of motion. Oh, yeah. Come on. In and out. Shoulder blades off the ground as much as you can. Eyes are forward the whole way through. Back and forth for 3, 4, 2, and 1. Awesome work right there. Flip it on over. Low plank with a little side step action. So you're going to come over here. A low plank position means the forearms will be on the ground, making a little triangular style position. Chest is down towards the ground. Shoulders are out over the top side of those elbows. Press hard through those forearms and tuck your tailbone down and in. Squeeze those abs as tight as you can. Then step out. Left foot out as wide as possible. Back to center. Right foot out as wide as possible. Back into center. Straight leg position the whole way. Toes, you guessed it, dorsiflex turned in towards your body, not pointed away from your body, activating through the hip flexes the whole time. Eyes are down, pressing hard through those forearms the whole way through, back and forth. Chin tucked in towards your chest, not piking your butt up, pushing hard through those forearms the whole time. You got 10 more seconds right here. Keep your chin tucked on in, the ribs towards those hips, stabilization all the way through, not being thrown off of that offset, stepping out foot position, right? You're still locked in with those abs nice and tight. Oblique crunch time we go. Over to our right side. So now what you're going to do, you're going to stack the feet up, knees up, straight leg position, right forearm on the ground, left hand reaching up towards the sky. Okay, this is going to be a fun one. Press hard through that right forearm, squeeze the undercarriage right here as hard as you can. Oh, yeah, that's good. Back and forth. Raise the hips off the ground, but power punch through that forearm as much as possible. Modifier, bend those knees on in, contract on in, same general movement pattern, firing right here as much as you can, bent knee position, left arm up nice and straight, modifier right here, or that standard, but either way, support that low side, right side shoulder as much as you can by pressing hard through that forearm. Keep that fist in nice and tight, going through the ranges of motion here, slow, hold that top side contraction so you really feel those obliques engaged the whole way through. For 3, 4, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and switch it up. Now we're going to go over to the left side. Pivot quickly. Left side needs to get after it too. Right side can't have all the fun. So the left side's down on the ground. Fist nice and tight. Forearm strong through the ground. Contract those toes on in. Reach out and up with that right hand up. Power punch through that forearm as much as possible. Hold that position for a couple seconds. Give or take. Bring it back down. Keep the knees locked. Toes flexed in toward your face. The hips stacked directly over one another the whole way through. So your shoulders out over the top side of the toe, reaching and extending up as high as possible with the fingers spread nice and wide. Contracting right here in that left side position as much as you can. Of course, you can go to that modifier at any point if you feel like the form starts to falter or you want to start out there from out of the gate. Keep those knees bent. Just keep contracting that low side oblique as much as possible. Down and back. Power punching through that forearm right here, right now. Feeling good. 2 and 1. Low plank, hip dips. So now we're going to do low plank position. Forearms on the ground. Eyes are down towards the ground. Dip the hips over right side. Dip the hips over left side. We go back and forth the whole way through. Low plank position. Down and in the whole time. Love it, love it, love it. Come on. Low plank hip dips all the way back and forth, all the way home. Power punching through those forearms the whole time. Chin tucked right on in towards your chest. Dropping the hips left side. Dropping those hips right side all the way through. Back and forth you go. Squeezing those hips down and in, but keeping your sternum square to the ground the whole time. In it to win it here today. 10 seconds to light up those abs. Come on. Dig deep right here for 3, 4, 2, and 1. Dead bug with extension time. We go. Head goes on the ground. Hands reaching up towards the sky. Opposite arm, opposite leg extending. Left arm, right leg out. Back into center. Right arm, left leg out. Back into center. So you're working opposites right here. Right rib to the hip, extended formation. And opposite side, hip to the rib. Back and forth. Head is resting on the ground. Arms are straight and locked the whole way through. Kick that leg out straight. Come back into center. Kick that leg out straight. Come right back on into center. Your head is resting on the ground, everybody. You only got a few more minutes remaining. You are lighting it on up here today. Your strongest self, your best self. Come on. Raise all the way through. Raise that hand up. Extend it on out. Raise that hand up. Extend it all the way on out. Six-pack city coming our way here today. Strongest core ever. Compress that lumbar spine down on the ground for 2 and 1. Awesome, awesome work. Scissor kick time. Time to cut some paper, arts and crafts style. So here's what you're going to do. Chin to chest, eyes are forward, slight bent knee position, toes flexed back towards your face. Hands hovering just off the ground, fingers spread nice and wide. You're going to just go up and down, toes flexed back towards your face. Back and forth, just like so. Slight bent knee position, toes flexed back, shoulder blades all curled off the ground as much as you can. Your eyes are forward. You are not looking towards the ceiling, putting undue stress on the neck, right? You're looking forward, putting the stress and tension right here. Rib to the hip, belly button down that tailbone the whole way through. Hands hovering off the ground, but not just holding your hands, trying to actively reach the fingertips down towards your feet as far as possible and extending those fingertips the whole time. That way, we help fire the ribs towards the hips that much more. That way, we help fire up those abs, make it a little extra spicy here today. Love it. Come on. 3 minutes remaining between you and that finish line for 2 and 1. Awesome, awesome work, everybody. Butterfly sit-ups for the win. Beautiful butterfly wings now. Feet stuck close together. Heels in towards the groin. Knees out wide. Hands go behind your head, reaching out behind you with straight arm position. Chin tucked in towards your chest. You're going to sit up. Straight arms. Fire up. Touch those toes. Arms stay straight the whole way through. Abs stay invigorated. Ooh, yeah. Back and forth. That's one way to say this one, right? Back and forth you go. Reaching and extending all the way through. Modifier crunches, just like so. Butterfly style crunches. Chin tucked in towards your chest. Back and forth. You're not sitting up all the way, but you are going to contract ribs towards those hips. Keep those arms reaching out behind you as far as possible. Reaching, extending, firing out through those abdominals the whole time. Come on. Light it on up right here, right now, inside of 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Negative leg raise, positive gains. Last one of the day. Head goes on the ground. Legs go straight up over the top side of the hips. Toes flex down towards your shins and knees. Hands on the ground just outside those hips. Go ahead and slowly lower those legs down. Bend those knees on in. Straighten them back out. Slowly lower those legs back down. Keeping the lumbar spine fully flat on the ground. Trying to get your heels just a few inches off the ground with that lumbar spine fully flat on the ground because your abs are engaged the whole time. Your head is resting on the ground. Hands are on the ground outside your hips. You're keeping those abs engaged. Belly button firing down towards that tailbone the whole way through. Slow, controlled down. Up you go, strong as possible. Slow, controlled down. Bending those knees on in. Up you go, strong as possible. Love it, love it, love it. Come on. Lighten on up for 3, 4, 2, and 1. Amazing, amazing work. Welcome to Six-Pack City, everybody. Stand tall, stand proud. Flex them if you got them. You can flex those biceps, those smiles, and those abs after that one. Be able to do my laundry on those abs at your house tomorrow. Absolutely awesome, awesome work. Let's go ahead and settle on into it. Feet out nice and wide now. Toes turned out about 30 degrees. Palms up towards the sky. Pull those thumbs right up behind you as far as you can. Squeeze through those shoulder blades. Inhale through your nose. Little exhale through your mouth. Open up those ribs as far apart from one another as you can. And let's go ahead and dangle on down. Roll those shoulders forward. Down and in. Knuckles down towards the ground. Eyes at the back of the room. And let's go ahead and stand on up. Take that left hand up over that right wrist. Gently pull over to that left side. Stretching out that oblique, lat, tricep region. Down and in through the hips. And that right over that left. We go to that right side. Stretching out deep through that left side as well. All right, everybody. Enjoy those abs here this weekend. Have a great rest of your day. Fantastic job.